Okay. And Krishna, I want to also let you know, when you said that you can see the parent mentor in me, and then you can also see a little kid in me. So, first of all, I appreciate you figuring that thing out, because that's what holds me as an entrepreneur. You are talking to so many women's out there, you're talking to women entrepreneurs, right? So, when we're women entrepreneurs, we have this women are full of energy source. They're like full of this energy that goes around, but what lasts longer is our passion. When we love to do our work with passion, that's where we just excel out there. So to the message to all the viewers out there who are listening, who are women entrepreneur, who want to just start something of their own, whatever it may be, if they are passionate enough in that, and they know that that's what they, either you have a passion, okay, or something that you have already accomplished, and you can help other people. So I had both. Basically, I had the passion towards my towards teaching my kids, and number two, I had the success that I've seen in my kids when implementing those things, right? So very important for women entrepreneurs to not let anybody's doubt stop you from where you want to go. That's my message to the viewers. Don't let anybody's doubt stop you. Believe in yourself. I say that all the time. Be the pilot of your own aircraft. Okay, so when you're in a plane, this is not said by me. I heard this, and this is something that I stick by. So I heard this analogy: when you're in a plane, and there is a huge turbulence, the plane is shaking. Have you seen the pilot say, "Oh my God, the plane is shaking. We're not gonna make it. Oh my God, there is a huge turbulence." How would you feel in that flight? You would freak out. Isn't that correct? But if the pilot is calm and composed, and the pilot says, "Hello, passengers, we're going through a turbulence. Please make sure you're seated, you're buckled, and please, we'll be through this turbulence in 30 seconds or a minute. Please bear with me. Do not panic." Won't you feel a little bit confident?
Exactly.
So be that pilot of your own life, is what my message is for the other viewers out there. And be the pilot in your child's life as well. Do not, they're already confused. They don't know, they've not even figured out the world right now. So do not confuse them. Be that calm, steady voice in them that can give them directions.
That's a kind of good message to the society. Of course, it's not only for the women or entrepreneurs or anyone over there. It's for even for the kids, even for the middle-aged person, even for the old-aged person, or anybody whoever wants to do anything in their life. Just focus on the kind of work that you wanted to do. It is not mandatory to listen to other people's words. There is a famous saying that if you want to spoil your work, go and tell to everyone. So that's the thing, because
I
if you
agree
want
with you.
to tell, you just go and tell to everyone, they'll be giving their
Yes.
own suggestions, and that ultimately, you won't be even trying to do the job
Yeah.
what you actually wanted to do in this life. And also at the
I
same
agree
time,
100%.
you always tell people that you want to be the own pilot, you want to be your pilot, you want to lead your kind of life. It is also framed in this kind of way that if you want to make a painting, don't give the brush to others. You have to do it
Mm,
yourself. Then only you can kind of achieve the painting what you really needed. Because your thoughts,
absolutely.
nobody can't brush it. It's the brush in your hands. Only when the brush in your hands, you can actually do the painting what you really needed to do. And also at the same time, if you want to really write your own autobiography, don't give the pen to others, because they don't know what's
Yeah.
happening in your life. You have to write your own
Rightly said.
autography. You have to
Yes.
take care of your pen. So that's the thing. What most of the people tell now, you're also telling via Priyanka Pandey, we are getting an amazing kind of message to the society via this interview. That's great, ma'am. So
I appreciate it.
we were just talking a lot about parenting. So do also tell me, because most of the people right now they're facing a lot of problems, not because of the kids, because of the kids' nature. That's the right way to frame the kind of words. It's not the kids who actually give a lot of burden to you. It's actually the nature of the kids. So tell me, ma'am, in that kind of situation, when the kid is too much like powered up, like too much anxiety, they'll be going here and there. So how do you actually? I mean, every parents wanted to have some kind of authority towards the kind of kids they're raising. So tell us how one parent can kind of have the authority towards the kids And also at the same time they have to give some kind of independence to the kids, and they also wanted, as you told in the beginning of the conversation, they always wanted the kids to kind of self express what's happening in their minds, self express the kind of emotions, the self express the kind of physical activities. So tell us, how can one balance the kind of authority, and also how can one give some kind of independence to the kids, and how can they rise in this kind of mode now?
That's an excellent question, Krishna. Excellent question, because sometimes parents, what's going on in our head is very complicated. As a parent, if you look at it, it's very complicated. You want to have give the you want to have that authority as a parent. Like I said also before, you have to lead your child. You don't have to be led by your child, right? That's like the authority. And then they want to give independence to the kid. And there is a very fine line, because there are some things that the kids have in their basic nature, like that energy that they have, that fast pace or fidgety, they can't sit in one place, they're like always dancing at a spot, right? So there is also a portion that is grace, okay, that is given to the kids. So now let me explain to you how it all comes together, okay? So as an authority of a kid, you always make sure you let your kid know, I'm the authority in your life. That does not mean they have to follow everything that you say blindly. That means there is a communication between you. You have a connection with the authority. Okay, people who believe in spirituality, people who believe in God or universe, God is like our authority, right? What do we have in God? What do we have? We have the connection with the God. It's not what God tells us anything from the up there, that you have to do this way. He doesn't come and tell us anything. He says, I'm the authority, I'm the leader, I'm the creator of the universe, but there is, what is it that is binding us to the God? That's that connection that we had with the God, right? So similarly, as a parent, if people who believe, because there are few people who do not believe, and I want to speak it is spiritual, but I want to say that a mother is a source. A God cannot be present everywhere. They send a mother in the child's life, right? So what do you do with the kid? You build a connection with your kid. The father, you father builds the connection with the kid. The connection is the main thing, that connection before correction, like that you must have heard it, like many parenting interviews everywhere, connection before correction, connection before correction. Because if you might have, do you understand Hindi, Krishna?
A little bit. You can just speak in Hindi.
There is a
Doesn't.
saying, okay, there is a saying in Hindi where they say, प्यार से बोलो तो जान भी दे देते यार. That means, if you say something with love, I would have given you my life. Why did you say that with so much anger, So because you don't have the connection with that person. So if you build a connection with that person, the person can do anything for you. The person will listen to you. The person will go above and beyond the extent to be able to help you, right? So this is what I want to teach people: have a connection with your kid, because if you have a connection with your kid, then they will just, they'll work with you hand in hand to make your life the way you want it to be, right? So number one is connection, and the authority does not mean being on top of their head and say, you have to do this because you have to do this. So what I did, I'll give you a very fine example in this, okay? So and I'll give you a real life example. When my kids love to they love to make watermelon juice, okay? That's like our summertime favorite activity, to make watermelon juice. So what I do is, I'm the leader of my child, I'm the authority. So I go, the big blade is for mama, you don't use the big blade. Straightforward. My child, if they say, why mama? I tell them because it's not safe for you. You will use the small, not the blade, okay, sorry, the knife, the big knife. The big knife is for me. I'm so sorry, what did I say? Okay, the big knife is for me. You don't use the big knife, it's only for mama. Mama uses the big knife and you use the small knife. My son might ask, why mama? I say, because it's not safe for you to use the big knife, okay? Okay, fine. Now we cut the watermelon. They chop the watermelon into small pieces. I cut the big watermelon. They are not allowed to touch the big watermelon. I cut the big watermelon. I give them the small pieces. They chop the small pieces. They put it in the blender. Okay. So once they put the pieces in the blender, they have a big blade in the blender. We have like a big blade in the blender which goes around, right? So one day I just, when they were chopping, and I looked at them, I said, Wait, can you please pick up, I talked to my son and I said, can you please pick up that watermelon? I need a piece from the jar. Okay, can you put your hand in and pull out a piece? Now, why am I doing this is because, and I have my hand right there, okay? I do not want blind obedience from my kids. And this is blind obedience. My son went and put his hand inside the jar. I held his hand. I said, What are you doing? Think. And then he looked at me and he said, I said, Is it safe? You're putting your hand inside the blender. And he said, No, Mama. I said, This is what I don't want you to do. I do not want you to obey me blindly. This is what I told him. And then I said, Use your brain. Just because Mama said something doesn't mean Mama is right all the time. Use your brain and see what you wouldn't want to do. And then he looked at me and said, Yes, I'm not going to give you the piece. So then I talked, my daughter was sitting right there, and my son was at that time 6 years old. My daughter was 3. And I told my daughter, Suhana, I want a piece from the mixie jar now. She looked at me and she said, I said, I'm so proud of you. Good job. So there I taught I am the authority, but I also do not want blind obedience. Okay, so there's where parent gets confused. Okay, so when you give that connection to, and this is what I build the connection with my kid, right? This is one more very good way of, if imagine if somebody teaches this to you like this, will you not think, wow, this person cares about me and she's teaching me the right thing? You will follow through. You will follow no matter what. The next time they did watermelon, we do it like 2-3 times a summer, right? So they did it, and I said, wait, can you please pull up that watermelon out from the blender? He looked at me, he said, no, Mama, I'm not gonna do that for you. So, I said, very good. I'm so proud of you. So now, how do I teach independence is voice to speak. You need to have a voice to speak. If you cannot have a voice to speak in front of me, you will not go out in the world and talk to the people. Where people are struggling is because they cannot talk. They cannot go outside and express themselves. The only way we know how to express ourselves is through anger or frustration or bad words. We can't express ourselves without that. Why? What is happening to this whole world, right? So I'm teaching my kids to express themselves with dignity, with respect, but with words. So now there are certain things like fidgety behaviors, okay? They cannot sit anywhere. They'll go like this, hands up, legs up in the air. I don't care. Okay. I said, okay, that is something I don't try to control. If I try to control that, then I'm in a problem as a parent. Okay. So I don't, but what I control is, so for example, every time, when they were little, I would give them milk and something will fall. Milk will fall. Why is that? Because there is a hand-eye coordination. It's called hand-eye coordination. The hand-eye coordination is not developed yet. Okay, so they can't, if you ask them to catch a ball, they can't catch a ball because the hand-eye coordination is not developed, right? So I can't be punitive towards my kids just because the hand-eye coordination is not developed. So I have to be very, okay, they can't stay quiet, so those are like things that I have made peace with myself, that fidgety body, or being quiet is something I'm not gonna lose my sleep on. So I don't bother about that. Now, independence, how do I teach independence to my child is I give them 2 choices all the time. Why 2 choices is because I want them to first learn what to do with their choices. So if they want to wear shorts, I say 2 shorts, which one? This shorts or this shorts? So they choose a short, a red color or a pink color top. So they choose, right? So now my son doesn't need a choice anymore because he now knows how to make his own choices, but this was to initiate first. So my daughter, I still give her choices, right? Which color socks do you want to wear? Orange or yellow, So give her those choices. Then I also give them small daily tasks to do. Like it could be anything, right? If Cheerios, they're eating something, it falls on the floor. I give them a broom and the little thing to pick it up. I say, let's clean up. Okay, they have to clean it up. So I have the authority, and they do not. I don't say in the air. So for parents, what I want to tell them is, I'm doing my work in the kitchen. I don't say clean up, and then I'm doing my kitchen work again. I say clean up. What are you doing? Why are you not cleaning up? No, I leave everything. I go to them. I say, hey, the Cheetos is fallen on the floor. We need to clean up. Okay. So they say, okay, Mama. Say, here is the broom. Go get the broom now. They get the broom, they clean it up. I say, great work, yay! Appreciate that. That's it. So I make sure that thing is done. So these are like the little things with leadership skills. Give them choices. Don't, and the other thing is, don't rush to rescue them. I do not rush to rescue them. You very common thing in I've seen in parents. I'll give you very very fine example. When the kids learn how to count, okay, or something, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and they will forget what's after 19. Almost all the kids, they go 19, and then there is like a gap of 2, 3 seconds, 20, 21, 22, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, gap. And that gap is our window. A lot of parents will intervene in that gap. They'll say 30 before the kid can even think and say 30. That is me. I have seen myself getting that urge in like 3 seconds to say 30. But then that is what I held on to. I do not go rush to rescue them. Let them figure it out on their own. If they're struggling holding a bag, let them struggle. Struggle is a part of raising an independent kid. So now, with authority, with giving them choices, with giving them the independence, with also agreeing that yes, there are certain things that will happen. Mess will be there, like things, you give them something, it will fall. You give them water, they will drink, your t-shirt will be wet. They give them food to eat, it'll be on their t-shirts, like those are certain things that will happen. You teach them. It's not that things cannot be taught. There is way to teach those as well, but it takes time, it takes hand-eye coordination, it takes that, they have a lot of energy basically, those things have to be taken into consideration. So people are sweating at the wrong side of things. They want the kid to stay quiet, which is not possible. Okay. I'm not saying it's not possible. Like, kids are loud, but you have to teach them. That skill is very, they can still learn that skill, but the kids are kids. They have that energy. They're so honest. Like, they can tell you, oh, mama did that yesterday and daddy did that. You can't control those things, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I totally
make
understand. Totally, it makes sense because the same thing which you're telling right now, it's happening in many person's life. We should actually give some kind of thinking window, what to say, without even kind of giving a kind of little timing to our kids, without even not allowing to kind of think. If you are not giving them, allowing them to even think, then they will not be able to do what they actually wanted to do. Like as you said, when the kid is counting from 1 to 10, and if she or she forget, like after 6 what will come, will be urging. It's a human nature, will be trying to tell it's 7, it's 7. It's like
Yeah.
what to say, if you want to go for Kaun Banega Crorepati, famous, so it was just done by Amitabh sir. And if the audience know the answer, then there will be an urge to tell that pick option B, pick option B. So in the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
way, we will be
Yeah.
having
That's
the
right.
urge to tell them, do this, do that,
Yeah.
think like this, think like that. But the thing is that there is a famous kind of human nature which is common all across every cultures in every parts of the world. I will tell you one thing. Suppose if you are planning to do a thing, like I'm planning to mop this floor, I'm planning to clean this room, and I'm about to do my work, and if someone comes to me and they're telling clean this room, then I'll not be doing that. So it will be like, okay, I have already planned to do, but it's now you are telling, so I have changed my mood. So in the same way, the kids will do its own kind of work. Only when you try to go and kind of have an authority without any kind of self expression, then it will lead to some kind of small disasters, of course, because kids are something like what you just mold in the beginning, it will come till the end. So whatever you wanted to mold, just do it in the right way. So I think
Yeah,
that.
you're right. Yeah.
And also the thing is that I also wanted to mention this movie. I think it's based on a real life. I do not know. It's a movie in which the kid is paralyzed. That the kid, I think that's a teenage kid aged around 12 or 13, something like that. And that kid will not be able to even get up from the bed. At one point of time, the kid's mother, she will be not taking care of the kid, and she'll be, even if the kid is like suffering a lot, the kid mother will be telling like, try to do whatever you can do. The kid will be suffering even to get up from the bed. And at one point of time, after 6 months, the kid will be getting up from the bed. But it's like, what to say, it's like a myth, but we have to believe whatever.
That's amazing.
The kid's mother is firm, like, okay, if we the kid's mother is having only one thing in her mind, because she is the only single parent taking care of the child, and if she is not there, what will happen in the world where
Yes.
his mother is not there? And
Yes. Absolutely.
she wanted to make sure that the kid wants to live in a world, she wants to make her kid to thrive in a world where the mother is not actually present. So
Absolutely.
she made
Absolutely.
she made sure that she is not going to help her kid, and after 6 months the kid got up. Of course, it's a myth. How can a paralyzed kid can get up from the bed? Of course, it's a myth, but the thing is that it's beyond science. That's what we are trying
Yeah,
to.
I get the whole picture about it. It's like you let your kid to struggle. It's a beautiful story where a mother, if you even put the paralysis out of the picture, somebody who is sick or somebody who is emotionally hurt, if the other person does not lift them up and say, yeah, you can do it. The answer is within you. You can get up. You can do those things, then if they give them that power that it's on you have to set your brain, you have to get up, then the kid will get up. It's such a beautiful story of letting your control go away. Teach the kid how to thrive and succeed in the world, so that they can succeed without you being there present all the time,
I
right?
also wanted to say that, yeah, of course, during the time of depression or doing kind of going through traumas, of course, each and every person, not only humans, but each and every person should have something as support them. So I think framing it in the right way, we should actually support them, but in the right proportion. It's like cooking. Whenever you want to cook some food, you want every ingredients, but at the right proportion. If you're not doing it in right proportion, then you can get what kind of food you want. So I just wanted to
Absolutely.
frame it in the right way. I think this is the right thing to frame. Of course, you should give some authority, and also you should give some kind of self independence, self expression, all kind of that.